Welcome back to another Artist Diaries. We're going to spend a couple of days together in my studio getting lots of work done, but first I have a few errands to run. The first stop is one of my favourite places, which is of course the haberdashery to pick up some yarn, and then we're going to head to my second favourite place, the library. Stocked up on rather a lot of yarn, lots of greys, and then some background colours, should keep me busy. Woke up feeling really ill this morning, but have been quite productive. Did the yarn run, went to the bookshop, picked up this month's book club pick, went to the library and picked up a bunch of books, picked up some cold and flu because I feel really rough, did some sketching and some journaling in the library, and now I'm about to tuck into porridge with dark chocolate, blueberries and bananas. Oh, and then probably do some work. This is all the yarn that I picked up from the haberdashery, mostly grey in various shades for the pigeons, and then I picked up some background colours as well, because as you can see from the frame behind me, I'm working on a big collection of pigeon sweethearts. My boyfriend cut my hair last night. It was very long, which I loved, but it just looked really ratty and dead and wouldn't hold any curl like it does when it's shorter, because the ends were just like fraying. And he did such a good job. The weather was kind of unseasonably sunny and warm on this particular morning, and one of my favourite things to do when the weather is like that is to open the balcony door, let a bit of sunlight and warmth in and some fresh air, and just sit in front of the door and embroider some labels. And often Bones will be sitting nearby basking in the sun while I'm doing this. I don't particularly love embroidering the labels, I think, because I have to do so many of them that it just gets quite boring, but I enjoyed it much more this day, being able to bask in the sunshine a little bit. I wanted to make sure that I had enough labels for all of the pigeons I was making, and also the toe pieces, because I want to hand sew some labels on the back. I was very much in need of a slow morning like this. I've been so crazy busy recently. January is always very hectic, and I've had way too many things on the go all at once. Started a lot of projects but I haven't finished them. And so the slower morning kind of helped me refocus and reprioritise what I needed to get done, because it was feeling all a little bit overwhelming there for a minute. Couple of charity shops yesterday and picked up these little fabric stars. They're like double-sided, if I can get them to focus, little glittery stars, and there's a bunch of them in here, and I think this bag was £1 or 50p or something, and I have a plan for these which I'll show you in a second. And I also picked up 2 50-gram balls of this Rowan tweed in this grey that's flecked with loads of different shades of grey. Really beautiful, and this I will be using in a project later on this week when I start a new frame. And these were the only 2 things I found, but I'm pretty happy with both of them. I have book club tonight, and this was book of last month, and I've tabbed so much in this book. This is The Artist by Lucy Steeds, and it is an absolutely gorgeous book. I loved it, and now I need to sit down and write a summary, some discussion points and some questions for book club later today. I've left it a little bit late, but I have lots to say anyway, so. Okay, let me show you what I'm planning to use these little stars for. So I am currently sewing up this velvet on the back of this toad, and I'm going to stuff it a little bit, add some bells at the bottom and some ribbon to hang, and then on the back I'm going to hand sew one of my embroidered labels, and then hand sew a couple of these on the back as well with some beads, just to make the back look even cuter. I think it just contrasts so nicely with the green. I think it will look really, really nice. Let me show you. So it will be like this, which I just think looks so nice. Alongside the pigeons and the other toads, I've also been working on this frame of toads. So you can kind of see what I mean about having too many things on the go at once, too many unfinished projects. The toad pieces that I'm hand sewing have evolved into more elaborate designs, and they're taking me a lot longer to finish, so I kind of panicked and thought, well, I need to come out with some more toads that are going to be done quicker, so there's not too much stress on me hurrying through the more elaborate ones. I think that was the thinking behind starting a new frame of toads, but I really just doubled my work. And I've been showing little sneak peeks on my Instagram of my toad pieces in progress, and people have been really interested in them, so I really ought to get at least some of them finished and up on my website. I ended up staying up way too late to try and finish them, and then I gave up and went to bed with the smallest amount left to do, which was kind of frustrating for morning me, but I just had this little gap to fill in and then I can move on to the outline. And at some point whilst filling in the little border, I was thinking, I don't need to make this hard for myself. It will be so much quicker if I just use a manual tufting tool, because there's no detail, so there's no point using a tiny punch needle. So these 3 pieces should be realistically a lot quicker for me to finish. I just need to add the backing, which will be felt, and a D-ring attachment for easy hanging, and then they'll be done. Obviously I'll need to give them a little trim and stuff, but that should be a lot easier than the other toads. These are all of the pigeons that I've made recently, and I put the heart-shaped ones that you saw me make on my shop the other day, and I think most of them are sold, bar 1 or 2 maybe. But I've been manically embroidering labels to put on the back so I can ship them out. But we have this pink one, this purple heather colour, a dark red with light red, like a really vibrant. I did 2 different sizes as well. A large bright red. This is a smaller purple, and then I have the smaller and larger pink, and I did another dark red. Oh no, this is, yeah, too dark, and this blue, which I think is the one that hasn't sold. Oh, I also have this little guy that needs a trim desperately, but I think I'm going to make him into a little double-sided decoration with some ribbon to hang when I get time to sew him up. And this is the progress I've made so far on my toad wall hanging, kind of like halfway through, not quite halfway, but halfway through sewing, and I've attached the stars, which I put on some beads as well, and I just think it looks so good, and I really want to get this one finished today and get the rest trimmed, ready to sew tomorrow. So I will try and film whilst I'm finishing off this one to show you guys the process. I have been using the big box of beads that I got sent as a gift, and in particular I'm using this box that's labelled gold odds and ends. I've used like a circle bead with a little flower, and it is these ones. I just think they are so pretty with these little flower ones. I've also got some stuffing ready, and I'm going to use the velvet that I got for Christmas just because I think it pops quite nicely. And then what else? Oh yeah, bells. I have these cone ones, and I also have some round ones, but I don't know where they are right now, but I'm going to put these ones, probably 3, hanging on the bottom. One of my favourite things to do at the moment as someone who is trying to utilise their sketchbook more is head over to the library, pick up a couple of random non-fiction books, pick a page and just draw whatever the subject is. I don't think too hard about what book I'm picking, I just literally pick a random one, and sometimes I'll set a timer, but sometimes not, and I'll just sit here for like an hour and just sketch and doodle, and it is such a nice time. I just find it really helpful, and I don't have to think about what I'm drawing too much, just putting pencil to the page and seeing what happens. Hello, Bobbers. Every time I go to the library to do a bit of work, I end up picking up another book, but this cover is so cute. Just been doing some fun little sketches and things with the mechanical pencils that I got recently. Been using a combination of the Rotary and the Calico, which I absolutely adore. We've had to bring the heater in because it's freezing. I've just finished sewing the back. And it's looking really good. Now I just need to add the bells to the bottom. Thinking of putting 3 on, but we'll see. Okay, and I'm going to sew them on with some gold thread because it won't matter then if the thread's visible. 2 bells done, I'm going to add a 3rd one here, and I've attached them with gold thread and then put a little button on each using some of these pearlescent buttons that I got from a charity shop. Sure is taking a long time, and I have 3 more to do.